an emotional day. I mean, just from the jump, you get up and you send out your first game day tweet, and it's seniors, and it kind of starts hitting you. And then as you see them, preparing for the game, shoot around, they'd probably tell you I was a little bit tense at shoot around because this game was really making me nervous because I didn't know how we would respond. I knew there would be a lot of emotion, and and then your routines thrown off, and coaches like routines. We're creatures of habit, so when that gets thrown off, but when we huddled up before the game, all the seniors were crying. I was crying, and the more I talked, the worse I made it. And Case and Connor said, "Stop talking. You're just gonna have to stop talking," because I was all about, I'm so proud of y'all. We're gonna, Cole, and she's like, "Stop talking." So that's one of the things I'm gonna miss most about Kaysen is she knows how to handle me. But they took that emotion from that huddle and just went out there in the first 2.5, 3 minutes and just played some really good basketball. So it was awesome to see the seniors get off to a great start. I thought the first quarter was outstanding in pace, defensive stops, rhythm. We were able to get the ball where we wanted to offensively. We made several shots. That's always fun. When the ball goes in the basket, this game's a lot easier. But, credit to them. We knew they weren't going to quit. And we knew that they had the ability to come back, and they've got a good team. They're better than their record. They've had an interim coach all year, and Deidre's done an amazing job with them. I mean, I told her, I said, coach of the year, take over a program, without knowing that was going to happen to you, and get these kids to play so hard for you. And I think they're already up to 6-7 wins in the conference, and so she's a friend of mine, and I'm really proud of what she's done. But not to take anything away from our kids, because I thought our kids played pretty well for the most part today. As far as each senior, this is the first class that we've had that came in together and are graduating and doing senior night together. In this day and time, for that many kids to stay together and not transfer or not decide to do something else, I think just says a lot about the heart and loyalty of these kids and their belief in this program. And so, when I said I'm forever grateful that they chose to be a racer, it's because I believe they changed the trajectory of this program. And each individual one brought something special. Start with Lucia. Lucia came in late because of COVID, has struggled with injuries and those type of things, just off and on. Like every time we'd get back, it'd be something else. But she's never wavered from being an amazing teammate. She's never wavered from doing whatever we need her to do. A lot of Division I players think that they're too good to grab a water bottle, or they think they're too good to push the ball cart to practice. That's not who she is. I mean, she will do anything and everything that's needed for her coaches or her teammates. And she's one of the most selfless individuals that I've ever known. And getting to know her is a pleasure because of the person that she is. She's an outstanding student and a true ambassador for Murray State. Charlie Settle, came in with lots of promise, and played well in the beginning. But you talk about injuries and then sickness, odd sickness. I can't say a whole lot, FERPA laws and all that. But, she's just dealt with a lot of hard stuff. But again, she's never wavered for being a great teammate. She's at every practice. She keeps the clock, whatever I need her to do. And I heard one of you ask her about a clipboard. She's keeping stats for me. And you'll see her walk up and whisper in my ear, "Hey, this is how many shots we got these 5 minutes. This is how many shots we got this quarter." Some nights it would be kills. How many kills do we have? So, she was still involved and still helping us. And I think if you ask her teammates, they tell you that she continues to lift them up on and off the court. And, it's difficult to come into a situation where you're expecting to come in and then just have to deal with so much stuff. So the way she has handled it, is a tribute, to her parents and the way they have raised her, because she has not, again, she's another one that has not wavered from just being who we want our players to be in this program. Kaysen, might have been a little bit of a surprise to some people today, but probably about a month and a half to 2 months ago, Kaysen came in my office and she said, "We need to talk." And I knew how much of a struggle pre-dental and basketball was. I couldn't even pronounce the classes that she takes. I mean, it's unreal. And there was already a couple days a week that she wasn't able to be at practice because she's in class for like 6 straight hours, things like that. All of her labs are in the afternoon. And for her to be able to be the best student, she's such a good student. She is a great teammate. She is a great player. She studies the game, high IQ, and the kid's in a sorority. And the kid has a steady boyfriend that she met as one of our practice players. So that's kind of cool. I don't know how she juggles it all. And I just admired her every day for being able to do that. But when she came to me, she's like, I just don't know if I can do it again. And I said, listen, you have given this program everything you have. You have changed this program. You have made us better. The rest of your life is in front of you. And you want to be a dentist? Go be a dentist. Be a great dentist. I'm going to need some dentures, at some point. So the bottom line is it was hard. And and here's Kaysen's heart in a nutshell. I don't want to let you down. I don't want to let you down by not playing. I said, honey, you could never let me down. And so the decision for her to finish up this year, she's almost senior. She's pretty much senior status anyway. But she has to finish up, and then she has to prepare to take, I think, what's called the DCAT, which is the MCAT of dentist. Okay? So she's going to have a book in her nose. She'll still be a part of our program, and she'll still be around. But that's the true definition of student athlete. So really proud of her, but that's kind of the backstory on everybody not really understanding why she's out there. Hannah McKay. I told her the first line when I wrote my speech about her was, she is one of a kind. There is no other Hannah McKay on the face of this earth. I hope not. That we cannot clone her. 99% great and wonderful. 1%, what are you doing? Top thing. But that kid played hard every second she was on the floor. You never had to question her effort. You never had to question her want to. She has got increasingly better as a basketball player every year she's been here. And I think Kate would tell you being paired with Hannah has helped Kate be who she is, because Hannah can stretch the floor. Hannah's got a lot of those assists to Kate over the last 4 years. But to see Hannah playing some of her best basketball here late down the stretch is really exciting. And, I'm just going to miss her. On the court, sure. But I'm just going to miss Hannah. She's that type of kid. She just pulls on your heartstrings, and sometimes you want to strangle her. I mean, it's not anything I haven't told her parents. Sometimes you just want to, but more than often you just want to hug her. And, she's getting married May 25th, and we're looking forward to attending that and watching her and her family grow. So just real proud of her. Caitlin Young, I think her career speaks for itself. Just an amazing player, can do lots of things. All the time, everybody's like, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know that we'll ever find another Caitlin. I don't know that in the NIL world, honestly, and in the way college basketball is right now, that we'll ever find another Caitlin. A player that is at that size can do everything that she can do. But we were blessed to get this one. And what a program changer she's been for us. But the thing about Caitlin is that she is even a better human than she is basketball player. Most selfless, humble, best player, 2,000-point scorer, soon to be 1,000 rebounder ever. She's a great teammate. She's selfless. Everybody loves her. And she's made the other players on the floor better. And I think that's one of the best compliments you could give a kid. Bria. Just the energy and the spark plug and the leader of this team. She is just the epitome of what you want from a point guard, as far as wanting to play on both sides of the ball, wanting to affect the game on both sides of the ball, wanting to get her teammates involved. And then this year, she has shown her ability to score basketball. She has definitely saved her best season for last, overcoming a very, very serious knee injury. But she's come back, and she has just risen the level of her game, which has obviously risen the level of our team and our program. But that take to the basket and that kind of shimmy at the very end before I got her out, That's who she is. You know, she's just got a lot of swag about her. And the thing about Bria is when Bria says something, people listen. And so that shows how much respect that she has from her coaches and her teammates. It's going to be a class that's going to be memorable. I hope we can finish strong because I want this class to go down doing something really special their last season because I think they deserve that. They'll be hard to replace on and off the court, and especially in the locker room and with the culture of our program.
You said about that class coming in, they came in together, they left together, and you spoke on how that reflects on their character. I just want to go to the other side of that coin. How does that reflect on the culture that you, your staff, and this program as a whole have been building over the last couple of years?
I appreciate you asking that, and I think that is due to my staff. They are servant leaders for these young women. I call it enabling a lot of times because they'll take care of everything they need. And I said, well, we're enabling them. They're never going to be able to do it on their own. But we do. I think there's a happy medium there. But these kids get hugged on and loved on every day. They know they can call any of us at any time, and we're going to come to their rescue. And I think that that's part of why we are able to keep these kids is because we're not a program that just says we're about relationships. Relationships matter, and relationships are the foundation of what we do. Now, as a parent, I treat them just like my own children, and I love my boys every day with all my heart. They are my world. But there's some days I don't like them. There's just some days I do not like them. And that's the same way about these girls. I love them with all my heart. But some days I don't like them. But guess what? Some days they don't like me either. So that's mutual. But I think that is a big part of it. But I also want to give appreciation and thanks where I think it needs to go. Their families and their parents for teaching them to be loyal, for teaching them to stick with it, not to push the easy button. This has not been easy. Nothing about this has been easy. Individually, their paths haven't been easy. Collectively, this has been hard. And then right when we get to where we think we want to be, boom, switch conferences. But I think their parents have helped build the foundation of you stick with it, you keep working, you do your best, you be your best, you give everything you have, and good things are going to happen. So I think that they need to get some credit as well.
I'd like to parlay off of that. When you talk about the conference switch last year, we've heard many student athletes talk about, with Alexis Macy and so on and so forth, graduates that have talked about just the big jump and the big difference. This class truly had to witness and rise to this situation. What have you observed and what have you seen? Because coaches, I understand they come and go, but the student athletes are the ones that maybe get forgotten in the conference transfer.
Right.
And the conference change. You recruited these 6 young women to go win an OVC championship.
Correct.
How do you see this storyline developing, and how do you, I guess, wrap your mind around what they've been able to achieve this season with so much in front of them?
Yeah, that's a great point, Ed, because our first true recruiting class to the Missouri Valley Conference will be next year's freshmen. But what these kids did is we went through growing pains last year, and I hated it for that senior class more than anything. But that senior class allowed us to get through that and learn so much about ourselves and about the other teams in this conference. And that's when the style of change came, the program style of change came. And the buy-in of the young women in this program to say, Coach, we trust you, we believe in you, we know you're going to put us in the best position possible to be successful. But they had to raise the level of their game. They had to change the way they play. They had to sacrifice. Bria, Hannah, Caitlin, and some of those others played 40 minutes a game last year. 40 minutes a game. Macy Turk, Alexis, going back.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, and a lot of kids would love to play every minute of every game, but it also wore them down. Well, this year, Caitlin Young played 29 minutes and 54 seconds tonight. She is only averaging 28 minutes a game, okay? This is a kid, along with the rest of them, that could be like, Coach, man, if you play me 35, 36 minutes a game, my averages could be this, that, or the other. The more I'm out there, the more opportunity I would have to score. Not one time. So the selflessness of this team and the individuals on this team have allowed us to make this transition. We're not where we need to be. We know that. But this team is helping us take that next step.
Then to bounce off of that, looking at some of the classes in the past couple of years, speaking on like Lacey, Macy, both Gibson and Turley, Lex, Alexis, what's really made this group so much different from the past?
I think it's just, being able to be in a position of have gone through it. We have this is a 6-person senior class that got recognized today. They've been through it. When Lex, Alexis, and Macy got here, they just got thrown to the fire. Macy Gibson, all the people you mentioned, just go play. They weren't ready. Most time freshmen don't play division. They don't get a whole lot of minutes in Division I basketball. But we're able to play young kids and first-year kids because of the nucleus and the foundation of our veterans. And so I think that's the difference. And it's also helps them to know what we're getting into. I'm telling you, we flew to Iowa last year. You have no idea. It's a crazy trip. First time you've ever been on a charter. Everything was different. Everything was crazy. Everything was new. So just the 1 year through helped us to mature and grow and helped me as a coach and helped our staff to say how we're doing things is not good enough. How we're doing things is not going to help us win. And so I think we all have kind of matured and grown together, but these players have had an opportunity to kind of grow and be veteran players, whereas, again, we kind of threw some of those kids straight to the fire when they got here in the early years.
I think on a day like this, getting back to the game itself, the pie in the sky thing is not only to win the game, but have the ones honored have a big day for you. I'm looking at this 53 points, I believe, between these 4, 17 rebounds, and I want to think 12 assists. I think they had a pretty good day for you.
Yeah, and that was what was so special is that, they all contributed huge to the win. And that's what you want. You want them all to be able to go back and say, we won our last game in the CFSB Center. But, man, I contributed in that game. I made a difference in that game. And I think all of them can do that. And they just have so much fun playing basketball together. Like, I have fun watching them play. Sometimes I catch myself being a fan. Sometimes I catch myself over there, like, doing stuff that they do. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, giving the 3 sign and stuff like that. But it's just because, like, they just put you in that mood and they get you so excited. And, and they say, Coach, we need you to get fired up. It loosens us up. It helps us. We feed off you, And, but they're just a fun bunch. And I say that win, lose, or draw. But what this team has accomplished in the second season in this conference, I think is we've taken a big step. But, I'm hoping I'm talking about another big step in the near future. So just really proud. And that's a great point, John, that they all had a big day.
Well, you also have one big showdown coming up this week up in North.
Yeah, I tell you.
That's a good segue into that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's best when you control your own destiny. You don't have to worry about anybody else. You don't have to be begging for someone else to beat anybody else. If we can go to Indiana State and win, we secure the 5 seed. Now, we have to have help to get the 4. Okay? But we control what you can control. Okay? We are looking at trying to get a sweep. Number 1, you want to be playing your best basketball going to the tournament. We would love to be the 5 seed just simply because for us to be able to make that big of a jump in the conference from 1 year to the next to be in the top 5, that's huge. And also, we could finish out the season with 20 wins. It's been done 5 times in program history. So there's so much for this program these kids to continue to play for. But the only focus will be Illinois State. But how cool is that to be going into a game Thursday knowing, you're playing for something. You're playing for that higher seed. And they're going to feel the same way, and they caught us on a night that we were a buzzsaw. We made every shot. Everything was good. It was one of those games you couldn't have drawn up any better. We're not going to go to Illinois State and win by 35. It's not going to happen. We're going to have to fight tooth and nail for every possession. Kristen Gillespie is one of the best coaches in this conference. She's got off-conference players. She's got senior leaders. and they are winners. And I'm telling you, we are going to be in for it. But we're going to enjoy today. We're going to celebrate these seniors, and then we're going to get back to work tomorrow.
Well, I mean, you just wrapped it up pretty nicely. I was going to ask a question about a game, so I'll take you back a little bit. All the way back to the first quarter, you guys came out really hot. You established a pretty strong lead right away to the point where they started putting it together in the third quarter, your lead wasn't really overly threatened. How important is it to come out, get those hot starts, really jump on these teams?
Well, for us, big time, because we always seem to find a quarter we don't want to play well in. So, jumping out to those big leads. And when you see shots go in early, it just builds confidence. Shooting is contagious. It's almost like, I guarantee you, if we come out and we make the first couple, other people are going to make shots. It's kind of like them. They didn't make any in the first half. But what happened when one or two of them went in for them? Then they all started going. And it really is contagious, because I think that's a confidence thing. So anytime you can build a lead to be able to sustain runs other teams are going to make is huge. So I thought our first half start was the reason we were able to hold on and maintain a pretty good cushion.
Coach, I've asked it every year the last couple of years. I figured I'd ask it again. What's the message to the seniors going into a night like tonight?
I told them that the best compliment that I could give them is they are leaving this program better than they found it. And I think that sums up a whole lot of things. The wins that they have provided me in their time here are great. I love winning. I hate losing more than I love winning. That's how much I love winning. Who doesn't want to win? But the people that they've become, watching them walk across the stage at graduation, and knowing the wives and mothers and partners and great humans that they're going to be moving forward means more to me than anything. We are producing 6 kids that are going to go out in this world and make a difference. And I think ultimately that's what it's about.